Okay, so today here on Project Shop, we're back on this f-350 dually. I was going to pull these rear calipers, but when I came down here, when I jacked it up, the rear end was moving. So what I did, I put the C-clamp on here, and I squeezed it back to check that right there. And this is moving real nice. So we're not even going to get into there. And what I did is, I squeezed it, and then I pumped the brakes, locked it up. I came back here, I checked it, and it immediately loosened up. So what I did is I squeezed it like 2 more times, let it cycle back and forth through the whole stroke of whatever it had there, and I think these rear brakes are going to be good. Now, we're going to get under here. I did both sides that way. We're going to get under the truck and just look at a couple things real quick that I noticed. So it looks like the rear pinion seal is slightly leaking on its way out. I'm going to check the fluid in there. I just did my rear end, so this is something that needs to be checked. And there's another thing I wanted to show you guys. This is the hanger bearing on the drive shaft now. See, I just replaced mine, so we're going to go check it, but I think that needs to be replaced. So I just did mine. It was a pretty easy job. And then another thing I noticed up under here was this rust. Now, this surface rust, not really hit it into the frame too much, but this is something that needs to be addressed. And one quick easy fix for something like this, if you just take some oil, scrape it down, put oil on it, it'll stop it from rusting immediately. I mean, obviously paint would be a better option, but if you don't want it to keep rusting, then that's an easy fix. And another thing, these universals, okay, this one here, let me see, I don't think has a fit in, and with the rust that's on it, even though we're not going to get into this, it's maybe just to spray these things with some oil, keep them lubed up. That way they don't get all rusty and corroded, and when you do have to change them, it won't be so bad. So we're just going to hit all these spots. I noticed the one up front was really bad. There's no Zerks fittings on them, so there's also some issues with this bracket. This one's completely missing the bolts. Other than that, this truck's in really, really good condition, really clean, dry under here, no oil leaks. There was a little bit of moisture on the bottom of the pan, but that's negligible compared to what I got going on in my truck. We're going to go look under my truck real quick to check my hanger bearing, because I just replaced it, because I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be like that. So I went ahead and sprayed all the universals, and this is the type of penetrating oil I'm using. This stuff is great. I also use Seafoam in my 7.3 diesel to keep the carbon from coking up the injectors. So we're going to go under my truck and check the hanger bearing, because I just replaced it. And I'm going to show you the difference between a truck that has 180,000 miles and a truck that has 480,000 miles. Okay, and this truck came from New York. So, as you can see, it's got its issues. When I put these brackets on, I actually had to, if you can see how close these two are, these are for the steps. I had to offset them because of the rust and the holes, and everything, but if you can see, everything's got a nice coat of oil. This thing leaks like the Exxon Valdez over here. It's coming from my oil cooler. I got the kit, and that's going to be a project we're going to do, but let's go ahead and check this hanger bearing. As you can see, let's see here. Yeah, that's not moving. I can't even get that to move. So that hanger bearing definitely needs to be replaced. And that'll be a project we'll get into. Okay, I've got the thing back on its feet. Got the tires aired up, they were all low. We got a light out, and then I noticed this. That's obviously not good. And the same thing with that one, something's going on there. And we're just gonna walk around, make sure all the lights are working. Tag light, ain't got a tag on it. Okay. We'll let it warm up for a second, and we're gonna take it for a drive. We got another light out up there. Sometimes, I don't know, like mine, if you tap it. Oh, there you go. There's rock and roll. I don't know if you can hear that squealing, but when I come back from testing the brakes, I got a new belt we're going to put on. While the belt's off, we're going to test the pulleys with my stethoscope. Okay, so now we're going to change the serpentine belt. It's pretty straightforward. All you need is a breaker bar. And what you're going to do is stick it down there on that little block on that the tensioner down there, and it'll come right out. A couple things I noticed right away. This truck is only 1 year older than my truck, and it has a really small turbo compared to what I got. And the intake is different. My intake actually covers, I got this whole thing over the battery box. This one comes right through the wall. Other than that, everything else looks pretty much the same. That ain't good. But we're gonna go ahead and take that belt off, see if we can't get this thing to stop squealing. I got my stethoscope out. We're gonna try to check all the idler pulleys, make sure they're not getting ready to take a crap on us. Okay, so we got that on there, and what you're basically gonna do is just move it, everything loosens up, and we pull that belt right off of there, and it should come right out. Now we're gonna have to sneak it around the fan, but that shouldn't be an issue. And this truck has the thing right there. If you don't have one of those, always make sure you take a video or a picture, because it can be really hard to figure it out. And I always thought this was cool about these trucks. I don't know if you can see that. It comes with a spare alternator, or the ability to have a second alternator. Basically, that's the ambulance package. I always wanted to put one on my truck to charge my batteries in the back of my crane. We're gonna get this belt off, and then we're gonna check these pulleys. Okay, the new belt's on. It was pretty simple, and I want to correct myself. I did not have to pull it around the fan. The thing just goes right on there. I think it's a little setup different than my truck. I could have swore I had to take off the that hose right there, but anyway. There you go. The dry belt. Sounds good. It's not squealing. Let's give it a little bit of gas. And sounding healthy. No more squealing. She's ready for the road.